Previously, Cain presented his tutor's magic bags made up of a blood ogre and an earth dragon, and shocked them. Now, the story proceeds with our 8 years powerful hero Cain. He is fighting with the giant dragon killer, who is 1,000 times bigger than him. Still, he is proving stronger than him because Cain has penetrated the sword into his body. This single blow has taken the life of the dragon killer in the hands of a cute little boy. He knocks his sword with his nose to ensure the dragon killer has been eliminated. By assuming that his level has boosted up, he checks his status. When the status window appears in front of his eyes widen and he screams with shock. His level has increased to more than 80 million, which is immense because of God, who have bestowed him with 10 levels that are beyond people's expectations. Therefore, he keeps it secret, because if anyone knows about it, then 8 years boy's life can be in danger. After 2 years, when Cain turned 10, they moved to Capital City. Every son who belongs to the noble family must go through this debut. His whole family is with him, and Rain is so excited to take him to school. But he needs to turn 12 before attending that school. On the other hand, Rain, who is older than him, is going to school and promises to grab the #1 position. Cain inquires when they are going to reach the capital. His father reveals that it will take almost 1 week, and he hopes not to encounter a monster on this journey. Just then Cain uses locating spell to know if there is any warning in their way. After searching, he gets worried and informs his father that dozens of monsters are fighting with 20 soldiers 3 miles away. First of all, his father has startled that he can use locating spell from this far. Second, he orders the guards to move fast because people need their help. Still, Cain believes that they can't reach on time, so he has decided to step forward to help them alone. But his father opposes this idea, because how a 10 years boy can vanquish those dozen monsters. Without listening to his father, Cain comes out from the carriage. He performs a wind magic boost and moves like thunder before the guards. Even guards have realized that it can be just air or bird. His father is worried about him and continuously screaming not to go. Apart from this, Rain has watched her brother's fighting skills. She wishes him the best of luck with crushing those monsters. Scene changes to the monsters, who are standing like humans and tossing the knight to the carriage. The knights are faithful towards Duke, who orders soldiers to take care of the carriage. Also, no matter what happens, they will not allow these beasts to get closer to the carriage. Just then Cain jumps in the fight and starts knocking these monsters down with air cutter skill. But knights are wonders, because they are worried about this child who shouldn't participate. Contrarily, they don't know that this handsome 10-year-old kid can chop down all teams of monsters. After using the air cutter and air bullet skills, he has diced up the monsters. Raman at 1 is near the carriage, so he can't perform the magic. He unleashes his sword and takes down 2 little monsters with a single strike. He uses a fire sword attack to eliminate the giant one, and he dies on the spot. As he kills all the monsters, still knights ordered him to get closer to the carriage, because they have a fear that he has an evil purpose in rescuing them. He clears their doubts by introducing himself, and his guards have also arrived. But there is no use, because Cain has already dealt with them. They are also shocked that their master how can reach here before them. By watching the knight's miserable condition, he performs the healing magic on them. After curing them, he tells them to have delicious food and rest to meet the production of blood. Cain can only heal them, and the people who are dead are beyond the curing process, so he puts them into his item box. In the meantime, his father has also reached and is shocked to see the dead monsters. Another wonder he also sees when he notices the crest of the carriage. It reveals that this carriage belongs to the house of Duke Santana. Just then the door opens and they come out. After seeing Princess Telestia and Princess Silk, they all sit on their knees for their honor. Telestia's condition is out of order because she has stress, tension, and exhaustion from this beast event. Again, Cain offers his services by calming down their nerves. Within a few seconds, they feel lighter than a flower, and their hearts have become calmer and soother. As soon they have regained consciousness, Telestia moves to Cain and holds his hand to thank him. By pushing her sister aside, Silk has done the same thing. Both are thankful to him for saving their lives. They have seen his iconic moves and amazing swordsmanship from the carriage and are so impressed by him. Both are fighting for each other too, holding his arms and pulling on their side. They inquire from him about where they are going. Knowing he is moving to the capital, they have dragged him to their carriage, because they are also moving ahead for their debut. He calls his father to assist him, but his father can't do anything in front of the Duke's daughters. They have taken him by giving the excuse that they are still scared. Even his father's eyes expand with the shock. In the carriage, Cain has to sit between them. It looks as if he will be crushed between 2 little chicks. Cain wants to sit in the empty seat, but he is not allowed, because these 2 princesses are pretending to be terrified. After that, they compel him to call them Silk and Tellers with love. Cain, who is only 10 years old, how he can dare to call them with love? But he has no choice, so he calls them by their nickname. For the safe side, he doesn't forget to put Madam and Princess with their name. They are getting closer and closer to him, and Cain starts blushing. Luckily, the knight interrupts them and informs them about arriving at the Renoma. They will rest and disembark here, so they need to be prepared for this. All this time, Cain is sophisticated by their closeness and inquires what Knight has seen happen in the carriage. Knight gives him a positive response that turns his cheeks red. While reaching the place to stay, he is relieved and tells them goodbye. Furiously, these girls tell him to stay a night with them, because they are scared enough to death. Just then his father arrives and tells them they are only 10 years old, so it's not appropriate to stick together at night. Still, they persistently stay the night with him because someone can attack them at night. There should be someone to protect them. Further, Cain is the only powerful kid who can face these monsters. Now, his father has permitted him because they are saying right. Even Cain is ready to sleep with them by not tolerating their pressure. But he puts one condition, that their bed should be at a great distance. While going to sleep, Cain is shocked because their beds are not far away. Also, Princess Telestia and Princess Silk are fighting to lay on his side. Consequently, Cain has to again sleep between them. But these princesses are not satisfied with this. They have pulled their beds near him, and Cain's condition worsens. He doesn't know what he should do. He only has become a sandwich between them, and when he opposes them, they start pretending to be scared. The following morning, dark circles appear on the bottom of his eyes. He could not sleep these days because Princess Telestia and Princess Silk get closer at night. Therefore, it's too difficult for him to sleep. However, the day has arrived that they have reached royal capital. Cain emerges from the carriage, while Princess Telestia and Princess Silk hold his hands. When the vice captain of the Royal Chivalric Order, Dame Von Gazard, sees that, he is shocked. But the princesses inform him that Cain has saved their life. Dame is also updated by the knights on how 10 years kid has killed 50 orcs alone. Also, he has healed them. Dame thanks him on behalf of all the knights and wants to take the responsibility forward. Cain takes out the knights' dead bodies and hands them in his custody. Also, Dame assures him that he will transmit everything to their family and bury these knights in honor. He is obliged to him by impressing Cain, because he has taken their dead bodies. Therefore, they can bury them as they deserve. With overloaded with emissions, Cain also orders him to take care of these knights. Now, he wants to rest, but Dame tells him to meet with the king waiting for him with the audience. Without any other option, Cain moves to the court, where people watch him. They are shocked, because Cain is still a kid, so how he can vanquish those orcs. After reaching there, someone in the court mentions his deeds of killing orcs and saving the princesses. Not only this, he has brought the corpse of dead knights, which is a great task. King is also inspired by him, because his daughter couldn't be survived without him. By doing such deeds, the king has decided to grant him the prize. As a reward, he is given the title of Baron. He is also bestowed with 10 platinum coins in his mansion. When the audience hears that Cain obtained peerage status at the age of 10, then they do not agree with him. So, a person from the audience comes out of them and opposes King's idea. He doesn't think giving the peerage status to such a young boy is appropriate. Even Cain is also still being prepared for this position. But the king, who doesn't want to miss that guy, makes this decision after pondering. Also, he questions this person whether he can kill these orcs or not, then he responds negatively, which explains that he is eligible for this post. The person has to get back to his place without any other questions. After that, King inquires about his wish to accept these rewards. Cain has no option except to say yes to him. While departing, he remembers messaging to meet him in the parlor. In the parlor, his father is also shocked that his son has gained peerage at such a young age. Although Cain is his third son, his abilities transfer him to first place. Just then the king arrives with his son and thanks him for saving their daughters' lives. Cain is getting embarrassed, so he tells him to raise their heads. Also, Cain will do the same thing if any other person is attacked. Still, Silk's father, Eric, thanks him as a father. Now, Cain's father inquires about the reason for granting him the status of peerage, because he is still a child. This status is awarded to those who have no parents, but King has watched his exceptional power and can't miss out on this guy. So, he has decided to link him through this strategy. Everyone has calmed down, but the king has taken out another offer for him that will explode on his head. King tells him to get engaged to his daughters. Everyone's eyes have widened. Even Cain is in shock and doesn't know how to respond. Actually, they have done a meeting on how they should deal with Cain. Magna has suggested that peerage status can increase his link with the royal capital. To strengthen this relationship, They also want to engage one of the daughters with him, but both are ready to engage with him. Therefore, at present, they are pressuring him to get engaged. Also, he has no choice except to accept their offer, because it's a good package for him. Both girls are happy by listening to his approval and remembering the nights that they have spent together. After hearing this, King and Eric get mad, and he has no option except to apologize to them. In the following scene, Rain has an objection to engaging with two girls. Also, his father reprimands him, because the king has told him that his son is a philanderer. Cain is getting uneasy and apologizes for being philandering. He has promised not to do this again. Watch this left video if you have missed part 1, and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.